A checkbox region is used to check mark values. For example, indicating a yes, no, or not applicable in response to a question, or picking an item or location from an available list. Once you have chosen Checkbox as the region type, you will have the General tab, Display tab, Checkbox tab, and a Work Order tab available in the Create Region dialog box. The General and Work Order tabs are available to all region types and are described in the Creating Regions article and video. On the Display tab, the checkbox style provides options you can select to fill your checkbox region. The options include an ellipse, filled ellipse, scalable check, a regular or non-scalable check, or circle as the shape. For example, you can use an ellipse to circle words on a form instead of checking a box next to a word. The red box in the preview window shows where the checkbox will appear on the form background. You can resize or drag the region to move it within the preview window. The Reset Rectangle button will reset the red box back to the original dimensions of the region. Now let's look at the Checkbox tab. The data value field controls the text value of the checkbox for when the region is checked. By default, the value of a checked checkbox is the word checked. This can be found in the data that is output by the data integration module when the checkbox is checked. If the box is not checked, there will be no value in the resulting data output. The Checkbox is initially checked option allows a check to be pre-filled in the checkbox region, and the user will need to deselect the value if needed. Checkboxes can be grouped together to control value selection. For example, the user must select either yes or no or not applicable, but can only select one of those options. Only checkboxes in the grouping are affected by the selection rules set for that grouping. If your checkbox is part of a group, you can enter a name for a new group of checkboxes or select an existing group from the drop-down to include your checkbox. Below the group name, you can set rules for the minimum and maximum number of checks allowed in a grouping. For example, if you want the user to check exactly one selection, you would set your minimum at 1 and your maximum at 1. The user is then required to check at least one and only one checkbox before submitting the form. If they make a new selection, the previous checkbox is automatically unchecked. If the user fails to check any of the boxes, an error message will be displayed and the form will not be allowed to send. If you would like to be able to send the form without requiring a selection from a checkbox group, set the minimum to 0. For more information on using Forms Designer, visit the Forms Designer section of our Help Center at help.fieldtobase.com.